What's up, all you mentees? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I take an advanced look at the Batman White Knight Deluxe Edition from DC Comics. So please stay tuned. Now, before we start this overview, I want to thank the folks at DC for sending us an advanced copy of this book. This deluxe edition comes out on March 4th. At places like cheapgraphicnovels.com and comic book stores, and then a couple of weeks later at places like Amazon, Barnes & Noble. So let's take a look at this. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is, of course, give you all a better look at the cover. I love this simple yet kind of complex design of the cover. I love the white stripe coming down here to the side. It is part of the DC Black Label line. And I'll do a little size comparison here in a second. Here is the back, and the book retails for $49.99. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this book is. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there is a plot point that I do want to talk about, so I have to mention that. Now let's look at it without the dust jacket. Now this has been available in standard size hardcover and in trade paperback, and this actually was the cover to the trade paperback. So here's the spine and the back. It is a deluxe edition, so we know it's bigger than your average size trade paperback. So it's going to be more like the size of your DC Rebirth oversized hardcovers. That's what this deluxe edition is. That is the exact same dimensions, except I took off, of course, the dust jacket. Here it is compared to the size of Harleen. It's as tall, but obviously not as long. Would have been interesting to see it that long, but I don't think the artwork would have quite worked. Now, let's look inside of it. Okay, so let's get this opened. We have black bookend pages. Batman the White Knight. All of this is written and drawn by Sean Murphy, with Matt Hollingworth on colors. The book is 248 pages. And let's just check out some of this artwork. I'm glad that with the new lighting setup we have, by the way, again, thanks to our patrons, that now you all don't have to worry about that glare, because I'm happy to say that this deluxe edition has that glossy paper that I know I love. It wasn't in the pages of the Flash of Two Worlds deluxe edition that I did an overview of the other day, but we have it here. So anyway, like I was saying, the light would always hit that glossy paper, so it was kind of hard to see some of the images. And I want you to just fall in love with Sean Murphy's beautiful artwork, because that is, to me, the driving point of this. I had not read anything about Sean Murphy. I knew him from Joe the Barbarian, Chrononauts, the Wake, and I know he drew some issues of Hellblazer, and, of course, one of my favorites, Tokyo Ghost for Image, along with Rick Remender. But this is the first time that I have read his own writing, and I'm always cautious of an artist becoming a writer, because unfortunately it doesn't always work out, but then sometimes I'm surprised how well of a writer they are. Now, to give you a quick premise of the story, it's the story of how the Joker becomes sane through a series of events, and he is no longer known as the Joker. He's gotten his sanity back, and he wants to heal the city that the Joker ran amok on. And with the help of Harleen Quinzel, he's going to do that. And there's a new Joker. She calls herself the Neo Joker, and I'm not going to reveal who that is. By the way, if you're not familiar with the DC Black Label line, this is kind of its own story. Kind of like Harleen or Batman Damned. It doesn't take place in actual continuity, so it's a standalone, what we used to call Elseworld tale, about a possible world where the Joker was healed and became sane. So let's flip a little more through here. I don't want to give any spoilers away. Now, normally when I do these books, I tend to keep away from reviewing the book, but sometimes I can't help it. And with books like this, I'm a big Sean Murphy fan. To me, he is a perfect mix of that American art mixed with anime that I grew up with. It's like Mark Silvestri meeting the animation style of Masami Obari. And I know Masami Obari probably means absolutely nothing to most of you all, but to me, he was like one of those high action-packed 90s anime directors and artists. But anyway, that's kind of, it's a good amalgam of both worlds, and I love that about his artwork. This is the Neo Joker, by the way, because of course somebody's got to take over the Joker's role if the Joker's no longer Joker, now known as Jack Napier. So this particular volume collects all 8 issues of the miniseries, and it is completely standalone. You don't need to have read anything before. You don't need to read anything after, even though there is a Curse of the White Knight series, and it will be collected in hardcover and trade paperback. I'm not sure if that's deluxe hardcover or not. So you also have the characters of Nightwing and Batgirl in here. I love his design of Batgirl. Just plain simple. Kind of reminds me of the All-Star Batgirl. There are several characters that make appearances here. They look a little bit different because that is Sean Murphy tweaking the characters a little bit, which is I'm completely fine with. Love the way he draws Harley. Alright, now let's look at the back. So we start with the variant cover gallery on the opposite page. No, that's not pixelated. That's just me making sure I edit that out so you don't get spoiled on that ending. So here are the variant covers. Just look at that. Man, he is such a phenomenal artist. And I think he has stated that he doesn't want to work as an artist anymore. He wants to do his own creator-owned stuff or things that he has written, which completely cool with. Love the design of Batgirl. Love the way he draws Nightwing. There's the Neo Joker. It's a fantastic story if you haven't read it. I think it is one of the best standalone Batman stories. It's fresh, and it's weird because I had just read Harleen a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up reading this. Actually, I read this when it came out in trade paperback. Shout out to my buddy Darkstar916. He sent me the trade paperback edition of this. Skipping that page out because it reveals the character's name and who he is portraying in this universe. Love that he went into detail with the Batmobile. Kind of reminds me of the Dark Knight Batmobile. Here's all the quick sketches he does for covers. And to me, I love that the artwork is on this glossy paper because I don't think it would have been as good if it was on that thick matte paper. Now I'm specifically looking at this page so we can talk about the binding. So it is sewn binding. You can tell the pages are all bunched together in different bunches, and there is the eye, but it's not really curving that much, so that's what's causing a little bit of the gutter loss, for example, in this page. I'm trying to find another example. Here's another example. It's not very much, but I did want to point out that it's there a little bit. It's hard to find examples when you're trying to keep away from spoilers. But you see how we have a little bit of a gutter curve here? That keeps this character, a part of him, hidden in here. So it's very minimal, but it is there, and I wanted to point that out. Overall, I really enjoyed this take on Batman and Joker. Love the way that the Joker is so different when he's Jack Napier and not going crazy trying to kill Gotham. So if you're interested in this book, you can purchase it from... Sponsored by CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Now, that was the contents of the book, the page count, and the build of this deluxe edition. Let me know if you're picking it up, if you already have the trade paperback, if you already have the standard size hardcover, if you wanted to see it in that new black label oversized hardcover like Harleen or Batman Damned. I don't think it would have worked the same because of the way that the pages are laid out, but that's just my opinion. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and the notifications button to let you know when our videos are going live. We can be found on Patreon and Redbubble, and that is a great way to support the channel if you can do so. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.